Welcome everybody to another episode of Wednesday Night Live. I was going to hit that high note for Tim. Wednesday
I,
Night
I
Live.
thought you were anticipating being muted for making a sound.
Yeah, I was.
You're like,
Well, what I've noticed is, and I already sent a memo to StreamYard, is what I've noticed right after the show bumper starts, our audio is kind of like jumbled for a little bit there for like maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 seconds, maybe sometimes 10 seconds, and it's just kind of jumbled. So I wanted to kind of wait a few seconds before I speak. Tim is out of whack. We're going to do a different type of show tonight. Reason we're going to do it this way because I'm not shocked. I'm just surprised that so many people don't know who they're not just their city councilmen, but their mayors, but who represents them as far as Congress and their senators. It blows me away. So we wanted to simplify it. We're going to have Nick Orlando's going to be joining us. I figured Nick has had a lot of success in Florida. So whatever Nick is doing to actually get sit downs with these guys and actually get a chance to talk to them and go through the vaping process, teach them what our product looks like and how we use it. So we're going to have Nick's going to come on and kind of help us form an email, also help us decide what to bring with us. If you do get lucky and get a sit down with these guys, what to bring with you, what to show them products wise, and educate them so they understand our products and how we use them and why they're important for us to have these not just flavors, but RTAs, RDAs, single battery mods, whatever it is, pod systems. But so that's the show that we are going to be doing tonight. Nick, like I said, is going to come on and help us become better advocates. So Nick should be on here shortly. Let's say hello to everybody here on this panel. Let's start with motherfucking Tom Harding from Wisconsin, the cheese capital of the world.
Yes.
Hello, brother.
How's everybody doing tonight? Hey, everybody in chat.
That's it.
I was like, wait, it was a cliffhanger. I thought some other shit was going to happen. And it just was like,
Well, I do have a couple stories. I went to the range.
Tell us a story, Tom.
I went to the range this week. Life is good. Found some ammo to buy. So that just made my day even better.
Oh, man,
ordered some stuff on Element and their whole having to sign and all that crap. That's all bullshit. Didn't have to sign nothing.
Yeah.
Get charged for it, which is funny, and then they don't even carry through.
I was looking at Tim because Tim was doing the same thing. We're like,
yeah. I was like, some important shit's about to be said.
No.
Oh no, it's not. Oh no.
Just about my week in general. I had a good week. Fuck both of you guys.
Jamie, I don't know that we know the answer to that question because it's royalty free.
It's royalty free. It is actually, where did I get that? I actually got that song from the video editing software that I use. So that song is the only one that has not been striked.
Yeah,
but
now that you say something,
not yet. Probably, who knows? So
I'm sure it does have a name though. If you actually did a little digging.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. See, if somebody else uses that and then say tomorrow they actually monetize their show, then maybe that could put a strike on that song. I don't know. I don't know how it works. I'm just done with, like I told you, one more strike, or not strike, but warning, we're going back to farts. We're going back to farts. I'm bringing the farts back in.
Can we do like the 17-year cicada sound or something?
Yes, I don't know, man.
There we go. Crickets. Just crickets.
Yeah, crickets just do good. Good evening, Daniel. How is Mr. Brian Power doing tonight?
I am doing pretty good. I wish I had Tom's week, to be honest. I like trying to find unicorns and blowing things up. I mean, that sounds like a good time. And when I say unicorns, I mean things to put in, the things that blow things up.
Yes.
So that's
wireless hole punching
they're
devices.
they're actually unicorns right now. They're hard to find. So that sounds like a fun time, Tom. I would like to be with you with that. So mine just busy. Busy work and stuff. Otherwise, yeah, just trying to stay on top of things with everything else that's going on in the world with the whole vaping stuff. I mean, it's not really fun to deal with, but I mean, it is what it is. So, I mean, we just got to see what we can do to keep doing what we like to do, and what can we do to do it. And this is a good show to be doing that on.
We're all mad as hell, and we're not going to take it anymore. That's
This is
what
why
needs
Tom
to
was out
happen.
shooting.
That's
That's
what
what
I'm
Tom's
needs to
feeling
happen.
downright blue, guys. I really am.
People
Just
need
downright
to
blue.
get mad. That's it. We need to get fucking mad. We can't fucking sit around anymore. We need to get fucking mad. That's what it comes down to. I'm sorry. That's it. Get mad. Don't go crazy, but use your words. Right, Tim. Use your words. Can't hear
You're
you,
muted,
fucker.
Tim.
You're fucking Tim.
You're muted, Tim.
I am going to start a GoFundMe program for.
I swear to God, that was not muted a minute ago. That was my impression
muted.
of a Wisconsin hello.
Yeah, that
Listen,
was
I saw you click that button, so
Yeah, that was a Tom hello. And here is the man with he's probably all tan.
And he's muted like I do.
Those Florida people, they got that bronze tan going, and fucking they smell like coconuts.
right.
They're like that.
The only way I look
He's
tan,
in the workout room. Look at that. Like,
Damn.
the only way I look tan is by turning off the lights. So
Yeah, in the dark.
right.
Florida people are always tan. Like I said, they smell like pineapples or mojitos. They're always smiling. They live in paradise. Florida's paradise. Welcome.
They live in Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Tom, let me finish my hellos here.
Mirror back there. That's
You look
kinda
good. It looks good, man.
weird.
Yeah, you look like
you're in a fun house or something.
Yeah, it looks perfect. No clowns on the show today.
Y'all too weak. Love clowns, man.
No, fuck clowns. I will shoot a clown.
And the rocker that everybody wants to be like. What was Tim's week like? How are you doing, Tim? I was going to go somewhere else with that, but I was going to keep it PG.
Yeah, because I have a knack for words just coming out of my mouth naturally, and just don't seem to have an end point. Like they don't stop. No, you guys, come on, man. Clowns are awesome. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. If you can't get past that movie, y'all got issues.
No.
Tim's got a fair point. Like I totally agree with him. They are completely harmless.
Yeah, like just don't go looking down the gutter outside in the street.
Right.
Don't go looking.
Yeah.
Don't go looking for anybody that calls you Georgie or anything like that. Right. You'll be fine. I'm good, man. It's been sort of a semi-crazy week. Every day's different for me. I wear a lot of hats in this world. Yeah. I do a lot of little different things. So, it's freezing today, and I'm mad about it, and I'm not going to take it anymore.
That's right. We all need to get fucking mad. All of us need to get fucking mad.
When somebody does that, they got a big Bertha in the bag there somewhere.
Got a big Bertha.
They're showing that sucker off. Hey to everybody in the chat. I know you guys say hello when we get on here, but we got to let John get through his spiel, so I don't want to talk over. So
yeah.
Anyway, I'm tapping too early.
Yeah. Don't pre-tap.
Don't prematurely tap.
Don't pre-tap.
Live already?
We're live.
We're live.
We are live. Yes.
Waiting. What the hell time is it? Oh, 9 minutes ago. Shit, I was late.
No,
yeah.
You're
so chat room. Feel free to harangue Nick a little bit for being
for living in paradise. How is Mr. Nick Orlando doing today?
Tremendous.
Yeah.
Man. Everything's good.
Perfect.
Everything is good.
Did you go golfing today?
Did not go golfing. Did not. I worked today. It's time to actually work my retail stores now.
Oh.
Now that the BS is over in Florida, I get to work my stores now.
Right. Session is over, so you can kind of semi-relax.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's good.
Start doing all that.
And all your hard work is paid off. Yes. Hear it. Let's give it for Florida, right? Let's hear it for Florida.
All you
I
guys
imagine
too,
we'll see a spike in residency in the state of Florida.
Yeah, I'm going to move right next door to Nick, and me and him are going to make tomato sauce
Come
during
on.
the summer.
I thought you were moving next to Claude, and you and him were going to yell at kids to get off your fucking lawns.
Well, we can, all three of us, Claude and Nick
Oh,
and
Jesus.
me.
I would definitely move to that neighborhood and just laugh.
You'd be the safest Italian neighborhood on the block.
We have Italian night every weekend.
That's right. We'd be making pasta and tomato sauce and tomato salad. It'd be perfect. Though you guys, you do have to go out of state to get your tomatoes, so it can get kind of expensive. So yeah. Where
Can't grow tomatoes in Florida? Is it just too damn hot? Is that the problem?
They grow them. They're just not good, Tim. They're not those nice
juicy,
tomatoes.
Big, fat,
good-
juicy.
good fat
tomatoes.
juicy tomatoes.
You
Good
gotta go
Roma.
Mexico and stuff, you know.
It's hard to grow a good Roma tomato, and you need a good Roma tomato to make good tomato sauce. So you live either in New Jersey or Northern California. There's your tomato. There's your tomato history for the night. Well, let's get started with what this show is all about. And tonight's show is, like I said, we are going to help you guys find the people that represent you and help you understand how to email these individuals, get their phone numbers, and try your best. If you're lucky, Nick, what would you say the odds are for someone to actually get a one-on-one with a city councilman?
In session, 100%.
100%.
At a session, sorry. At a session, 100%. City council members, they're always available. And, let's remember they're elected officials, so they work for you. They want to hear from you, but you have to have the right way of asking, right?
Right.
You can't just bulldoze in there or whatever. You got to request a meeting, request a time, show up, be professional, respectful, have that conversation. But it's all in that first introductory, like if you call the office and you're, hey, I'm a constituent, I'd like to sit down and talk to the representative, no matter what level they are. Is there a time available on a day that I could be there to just talk to them? Well, what's it about? Tell them it's about public health.
Yep. Public health.
Public health issue. That's it. And that leaves the door kind of very broad.
Right. That's a pretty good point. I never thought about saying it that way, and just instead of just saying, "Hey, I'm here because I want to talk about vaping," I want to talk about a public health issue.
Right.
And actually, pretty sneaky little idea there. Thank you, Nick. I'm going to write that one down. First off, we want to start off with basically everybody. I wanted to say everybody has Word, but I don't think everybody owns Word. But everybody has Google Docs. Google Docs is free. So you can actually go to Google, sign up. It should be, most of us have it if you have a Google phone. So you should have Google Docs. But it's important to get that email done. Get that done first. Do 2 drafts maybe. Like I was thinking, you could, if you have time and you want to have 2 drafts, send one draft to one person, send another draft to the other one, change it up a little bit. But it's important that you have that prepared. It'll help you go through these forms a lot faster when you can copy and paste that, because you're going to have to go and fill in. Most of the stuff is done if you have the autofill done for you. So a lot of that, your name and all the address and stuff will be done for you. And then all you would have to do is copy and paste. What's that?
Sorry.
Oh, no. Yeah. So having that email done and ready, it's crucial. It'll help you. It'll speed the process up. And I want to talk a little bit about what to write on your email. So Nick's going to go through some of that and kind of help us on how we word these emails. And one of the things I was talking to Nick about is sticking with the facts. Your name, your age. Make sure you let them know that you are a registered voter. That is crucial, guys. We're letting them know that you are a registered voter. Years you smoked, years you're vaping, the importance of flavors to you, and then end with the importance of flavors to help future smokers. And something like Tom brought up when we were talking earlier, that applies to the same thing. And all our emails may not be about flavors, or they may be about something else towards vaping. So you can also do the same thing, but always show the importance to yourself and the importance to the community if that product or feature is taken away. So Nick, what else should they have in that letter? How should they form it, or what else should be in there?
If John, if it's a letter and you're not going to have that personal interaction, I think all those things are very important. But it's also important to say, small little blurbs. And it doesn't need to be a long email. Some of my past experience the best responses I've had from short baiting emails, okay? And just like public health, those type of buzzwords get the attention of people on occasion.
Right.
So when you're writing an email, something to the effect of, I'd love for you to listen to me at some point and talk to me. Here's my phone number. I'd like to talk to you about public health, or I represent X amount of people. State organizations represent, like Florida, 1.5 million. If you're a person, you get a number in your area of individuals that use vapor, or some type of economic small analysis to be able to use those numbers. So now you're not just speaking for yourself. You're speaking for more than just one person. And it makes an impact when you represent this many people. So, when you're talking about flavors and taxation and such, I'm speaking on behalf of the 20 vapor or tobacco harm reduction retailers within your community. And they employ this many people, and this many people use their product. And it matters to us because we're adults who choose this less harmful alternative to combustible tobacco. Those quick little buzz things sometimes go a long way and entice them to have further conversation. Now, obviously, we're so used to being on the attacking end of things that we want to come out swinging every time. And it's like, vaping saved my life, and I vape, I vote, and F the FDA and all that stuff. That's not what we need to change that, right? Right. And the only way we get things done now is to change our presentation and our audience to be able to listen to us. We've got to get outside that bubble. I've said it a million times. And until we can change our messaging and the way we present our message, we will never get outside that bubble. And that's the only reason Florida is where it is because we had that light bulb go off and focused on that. So I encourage everybody that's going to do the conversations or the letters or the tweets or any of that, change that communication to a different type of style, get your message across, but try to get outside that vapor bubble. It's cool to get likes, loves, and shares within the vapor space because it's cool. Right. But if we're not getting outside that, it's ineffective because we all know the story, right? You guys know the story.
We know the story, know the facts.
So those buzzwords are key with your email, but you've got to come up with a way to tailor it small.
Right.
Those buzzwords need to be included, but a small email. And there's plenty of examples on social media out there. I encourage everybody, and Brian, and I know you guys have spoken about it before, thr101.org has great examples. And it's great research, great numbers. And right now, the numbers are updated for each state as far as analysis that you can use with real numbers. So if you go to that site, you pick your state, you'll be able to see those real numbers to include in your email and be able to.
Nice.
So now you're getting a different style.
Hold on, Nick. Hey, Brian, can you put the email ad? Oh, God, Tom. Is that Tom? Mm-hmm. Fucking Tom.
They're on it.
Jeez, damn it, dude. Damn.
Tom's put me out of a job here.
Dude, Tom, you're just going to
move on time, Brian.
Hold on. I am just... I was going to move Tom, but he's already in the middle, so he's important enough. So that's great. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even think about, but that's smart, Nick. I didn't even think about that. Adding the advocacy groups that you're in, the economic impact that this product is for the area that you live in, and adding those things to your email. One other thing that I wanted to add, and I talked to Nick about this, is be respectful, especially on these phone calls, guys. Remember, these people that are reading your emails and answering your calls are not part of the fight. So it's in our best interest to show some kindness towards these individuals because they're basically just doing their job. And I think if we're nice to these people, we may tug a couple heartstrings, you know what I mean? And who knows, maybe get that little push that we may need to, hey, we really need to look at this. This guy talked to me. He was kind on the phone. He made great points. And so please do not be rude to these people on the phone, especially when you're calling the White House, which is a stupid idea anyway. If you're calling the White House and you're talking like you're Mr. T, you may have a couple knocks on your fucking door in a couple of hours.
But if you get a group together, John, and the squeaky wheel gets the grease, they always say, right? So if you get a couple of people together in a community and everybody shoots off an email, one a day or two in one day, whatever, just kind of stagger it, that kind of makes the staffers that are monitoring that in most cases go, wait a minute, there's an issue here we need to look at.
Yeah.
So let's start digging at it. Now, the other thing you touched on that is huge is that we cannot assume that they are against us. We cannot assume that they know about our products. They know what they hear in passing. They're not in our communities, right? They're out living their life at the soccer games or fishing tournaments or crocheting or whatever, scrapbooking, whatever they do. They're not in our world. They don't see what we see every day and how we hear about it and how it's communicated to us. So we have to give them that information in order for them to kind of digest it and understand it. And it's best to do that piece by piece, multiple conversations, not just one, here's everything. See ya, I'm done.
Yeah.
Our Speaker of the House, I've been fortunate enough to have several conversations with the Speaker, with the Governor, with, a lot of our legislators, and it's always a follow-up conversation. But when something comes up, it's a phone call or an email saying, hey, Nick, you got a minute? And then we talk about it and kind of get those questions answered. Other than that, we can't just screw up like that and just throw stuff out there.
Nick loves you, Morgan. Relax. Nick loves you.
I thought he was going to say your councilmen are basically soccer moms. I thought that's what he was going to say next.
No, Morgan, I was just being real. I wasn't making fun. John's the one.
No, she's just joking around. She's joking around.
But whatever. I'm just saying they're not in our community like we are, right?
Right.
And let's be honest, these people are very intelligent.
Yeah.
Right? That's how they got where they are.
Yeah.
But we are much more intelligent on this end. Like your common vapor knows more about this product and how to speak to it than our lawmakers. And that is just a reality.
Yeah. Yeah. These staffers, man, some of these guys are working. I had a buddy that was a staffer for our congressman here, and he worked 18 fucking hours a day. Dude, he was nonstop. He would leave dinner because he got a call to go do something. Yeah. And he would just, dude, do you have a break? Take a break. No, can't. And
one of the cool things is, John, this year I'm finding more and more of the staffers and people that are very close to our lawmakers are using the products. Now, they might not be all the products we use. They could be some of those that are picked up in C-stores and disposables and whatnots, but they're understanding the product and its use a little bit better than they used to in the old days. And when you bring that show and tell kit, it just blows their mind because then they see all the products.
Yeah, they changed a few things. All right, let's not get into Republican and Democrats. Trump used to have his own email address that went directly to him into the White House. I guess Biden does not have that. So you can basically, the only way you can get a hold or get a message to Biden is through the whitehouse.org website. So I'm going to go ahead and put that email address there. Copy, put that error. Brian, you can, I don't know, can you do that on the, I did it through ZampleBox on YouTube. I don't know who's today's taking care of Facebook.
Which Facebook?
Anyone, I don't care. I just put it in the private chat.
I'm on the live right now.
Yeah, if you can share that link, and that's going to take you to the White House website to send a message supposedly to Biden. I think. I'm not sure. Is that how it works? Do you know, Nick? Trump had his own, and it was part of the White House email address, but it was Trump's own message. So email service or whatever it was. But this one is basically there is no email address that goes directly to Biden or Biden's staff members. So basically,
your typical contact us page on the vast majority of websites.
They're employing people to monitor that communication. Some are staffers, some are not. It may get to who it needs to, and it may not at this level.
Right. So
we hope it does.
Yeah, we hope it does. Well, I put the link in there so you can go to this page if you want to send a message to Biden or to the White House. And it's pretty simple, guys. I mean, if you have autofill like I do, it's just gonna just go over to the part that's yours. And like I said, you go all the way down. You can put your email address, your phone number in there, and all the way down here to now. And they're not limiting it. Oh wow, that's pretty cool. Usually it's limited to so many words, but it's open. But like Nick is saying, keep it simple, stick to the facts, add the features that Nick has talked about, your economic features, the impact and stuff like that, and stick to that stuff. But that's how you get to Biden, hopefully. I mean, I don't know. It's weird. Actually, Pierce had his own email address as well, which our vice president does not have an email address either. But the only way you can get a hold of her is through this page here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. Copy link URL, and I'll go ahead and post that in there as well. And basically, there she doesn't have an email address, but she has a phone number. So I don't know. I've never dialed that number. Have you ever tried to dial a number for the vice president, Nick?
Yeah, usually it's a voicemail or a staffer that picks up, and they're usually they'll listen to you, but not very interactive.
Not very.
They'll listen to your piece and say, okay, I'll let them know. And that's it. Thank you very much for your call. And, when we turn on a hot switch or a call to action and everybody calls, it blows their lines up and melts them. But they go, wow, we got a lot of calls, but
yeah,
that's when it's like, okay, somebody's paying attention. Let's look at the matter. And they might pull out a few emails and kind of see what the hot points are. Like when there's a flavor ban on the horizon, when CASA or somebody turns the switch on and everybody goes nuts, or UVA or one of those guys, and there's a big call to action out there, then they'll look into a couple of these emails, but they won't read every one of them. I'm just being honest.
Yeah. And she's the one that we need to concern ourselves with, because she's pretty much anti-vaping. She has been from the beginning, so it would be nice to be able to contact her a little more easier than just a phone call. No email address, no nothing. All right. House of Representatives. I'm going to go ahead and put that up in there. I'll put the link on there as well, guys. Still shocking that some people don't know who their congressmen are, but I guess whatever. It is what it is, but you should know. And it's a pretty simple page. Can you guys see that? Do I need to blow that up, guys, or is it pretty good?
And make it bigger. There you go.
That's what she said.
Rub it a little bit.
But it's pretty simple. Do you guys just put in your zip code right there and find your rep? And it's going to put mine is Mr. Jeff Harding. I'm not going to go Josh Harding. I'm sorry.
No relation to Tom.
No relation.
No. Yeah, I asked him earlier if he was related to him, and said no, he's not related to him. But that's how simple it is. And if you can scroll down, you'll see how to get into contact with your state representative. It'll give you everything that you need to contact him. And it's that simple, guys. I mean, it's not that hard. And these are the guys that we really need to focus on, and especially in your states, right, Nick? Or Nick's camera?
He's there.
I'm here. My camera dropped. Yes.
I don't know. I mean, this my personal. I agree with John on this one. I think you kind of have to sort of like find your way from the bottom up to get on the inside. I mean, odds of getting a sit down with Biden and a little group of people to talk about a public health issue like vaping, it's probably not going to happen. I mean, if you think about what the president has on his plate to deal with on a daily basis, I mean, granted, he is sort of embroiled in an FDA thing going on right now with the banning of menthol cigarettes, whole other conversation. I just feel like the way to get to the inside is to try to find somebody that walks in that back door and sits down, and can communicate at the legislative level, being House or Senate.
Yeah. And it's like I said, you guys see how simple it is. I even did Tom's. Tom's is in there. What was yours, Tom? There it is, Wisconsin. And it's that simple. It's that easy to find out who represents you. It's that easy to find out how to get in contact with these guys. You're going to get a phone number, an email address. You should be able to find out. Most of these guys have if they're in your district, if they represent your district, they have to have an office in your district. So You just need to find out when they're there, and if they're there, that's when you need, like Nick is saying, because most of the time they're spent in Washington, but when they're off session, they're going to be home. They have to be at home, right? They're supposed to be.
Yep.
I forget what the ratio was. I used to remember the ratio home and Washington, but they need to be there. And if you're lucky enough to get a sit down with these guys, Nick, how do you approach these are big time. This is your congressman. This is this isn't your city councilman. It's a little bit different. There's going to be some boundaries, especially now with COVID. But how do you approach these guys?
You're more likely to get in touch with them when they're getting ready to run for office or another term. That's when you reach out and kind of ask them their stance on these products and, let them know your story, those types of things. But for the most part, it's a matter of calling the office and saying, hey, when will the representative be in their office? And can I set up a time of the day? And very respectfully, professionally, get that time, spend it with them. Or, your local representatives for your state, when they're out of session, they're important as well because they're going for that spot in Congress, right? We're very fortunate to have people now who have moved out of the state and up to Congress, so our voices are there. And now I have somebody that I call in D.C., Byron Donalds, who left Naples, Florida here, went up there and we supported him, and a lot of the vapor industry did. He did Zooms on our board member calls and stuff, and our membership calls, and he gained a lot of support. You got to start having those relationships locally, and they know somebody up there. They can get you that ear. If you're not linked up with a lobbyist federally, then you need your state lobbyist or your state representatives that you can get in touch with fairly easily in your local cities and municipalities, and start those conversations. It's all about planting seeds and get to as many as you can. And they're just normal people. The biggest pushback that I see when we're asking people to go out and have these conversations is that they're not used to public speaking. Well, the best time to get them is when it's not public. Right. You're by yourself in an office. Now, I've had to stand up, and I'm not a very good public speaker, stand up in front of the Senate and speak. But if I wasn't going to do it, there was probably only 2 other people that would do it, and we didn't have a choice. So you can't be afraid to speak the truth, and it's always easier. And I've told you guys this before. We don't have to make up stories. We just tell the truth.
Right.
When you get up and have to make up stories, it's a little harder. But if you just get up there and say the truth and jot down a couple of numbers on a piece of paper and have it handy for yourself, it's real easy to have those conversations in an office setting or in a Senate or House of Representatives committee hearing, because you're just being real.
Yeah. A quick question, Nick. Do you think it would be easier to set up a one-on-one, or would it be easier if you were to set up like a group? Like, hey, let's say I have the Modesto Vaping Association, and it's me and, couple shop owners. Is it easier than just a one-on-one if you're going as a group? It may be easier for the group to get their point across than just say one individual, but is it more likely to happen if it's a group?
No. I would say no more than 2.
Okay.
Because they're more likely to interact with 1 or 2 people with real meat questions versus a group of individuals.
Okay.
Because when you bring in a group, sometimes it gets real loud and chattery. Too many people want to talk at the same time and say their piece. If you go and have 1 or 2 and talk like just a regular conversation over a cup of coffee, and you're just chopping it up, talking about some of the things, and you may or may not even talk about vape right out of the gate. You may be talking about the water treatment plant, or
right.
Hey, you did a good job last session. I appreciate you creating a bill for schools to open back up, or removing the mask mandates, or opening small businesses. Then you lead into, by the way, I need to talk to you about something that's been on my mind, because I just want to know where you stand, Representative. I use vapor products, and I use it for tobacco harm reduction. I smoke combustible cigarettes, It helped me get off of those. I use a flavor. What are your thoughts on that? And then boom, you smooth right into it. You gotta. It can't always be like, you said in the beginning, we can't always be on the defensive. We have to have that real life conversation. Now, not a lot of these guys are real life. Let's be real, but you still got to play the game with them, right?
Yeah.
Well, Daniel, I get your frustration, but at least you made that attempt. That's what we're trying to get to. That's what we need more of. Maybe it's just you, and he's probably 9 out of 10 times going to blow you off. But guess what? If it's you plus 10,000 or 5,000 more people in your district sending him those emails, he's going to listen. But at least you're making the attempt. That's what we were trying to get to with this show is telling people we need to start making that attempt. Go ahead.
I'm looking at Daniel's comment. I've messaged them several times. If that couple of times it doesn't work with that individual, go to a different representative. There's always, you got to go across the aisle, right? So if there's a Republican, there's Democrat, you go across the aisles. You also go to different types of leadership. We've gone to senators and gotten nothing. We've gone to House of Representatives and gotten something. There's some representatives and some senators now. So we kind of got that blend. They're Democrat, they're Republican. It's not a party stance. So we're bipartisan issue. So it's always, you can't stop at 1 or 2 or 3. You got to keep grinding. We had 42 new legislators hop into into our Capitol one year, and it was quite a hurdle to try to reach out to every one of them. And some entertained us and listened and said, "Well, I still don't like vapor," but we can't stop there. We got to go to the next door and tell them about it, and eventually, those people or those support people, your staffers, are key, right? Your legislator might not be in the office much at all, but you're going to talk to the staffer. The staffer either knows or is personally using vapor products, right? Knows of or is using the product. They're more trendy than some of these lawmakers at this point in the game because they're sometimes younger and their understanding of what the product is. They've been in a vape shop maybe or have a friend who uses it, and they are your voice now. So now you lean on that staffer to educate, I hate the term educate, to inform the lawmaker what it really is, Well, they're so intelligent, you don't want to say educate. I made the mistake once of telling a senator that I wanted to educate them on the product, and I got my ass ripped.
Yeah, I can see how that you would be offended by that. I went to Harvard.
I try to correct myself.
So it kind of begs the question, right? So let's say people here in the chat, are listening, and they're like, "Hey, I might try that angle," and kind of go on maybe their own solo mission or pair up with somebody and try to do the contact, get a duo going or something. Let's just say they are the fortunate ones who actually get that engagement, and they're given that opportunity to get that 10 or 15 minutes in that person's schedule. What do you recommend they show up armed with? Do you show up with the honest engine, here's my story, I care about this issue, or do you come armed with a little notepad of facts? Because I guess what I'm getting at is, in the way you highlighted, is that they may not really know anything about the vapor industry or the products that are being used or how we use them, or there's a big gray area, or do you get a hodgepodge of that? Do you sometimes get the educated one who kind of understands what's really going on, and then other times you get the well, tell me more about it, I really don't understand it? Do you get both?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The newer ones get it. The older legislators typically don't, because they've been in session so long that they're on to so many other things. And now with COVID going on, they're very distracted, right? I mean, let's be honest, they've got bigger hills to climb than vapor products at this point in time. Although some of them, that's their flag, right? Very few, but some of them, it's their flag. So to answer your question, what do I show up with? I show up with printouts of research, scientific research. I bring a copy of A Billion Lives with me, the DVD. I bought a bunch of them. I bring a copy of the Royal College of Physicians report, which I believe they're free, and then the THR 101 pamphlet book that Lindsay made years ago, and that is free. And I also bring, the most impactful tool that I bring. First of all, I look at all the current information on THR 101, along with what some people like Bill Tarling, Kevin Crowley, and those guys put out, right? That's important to me. Those three I take. I usually go to You Don't Know Nicotine and pull something off of there. Then there's a little bit of homework involved, but the biggest tool that I bring, the most powerful tool that I bring, Tim, is a small kit. And in that kit, I have a bottle of e-liquid. I have some of my older devices, and I went out and bought a Juul to put in there. I have a pod system, both refillable, closed system. I have a 200-watt device with a sub-ohm, and I've got a mouth-to-lung device, and I've got some rebuildable RTH kind of thing, right? And battery. And when I go in there, I open up the case and say, depending on where the conversation goes, because you don't know their level of understanding.
Right.
And so that may change, right? You may skip from, hey, I'm Nick Orlando, and here's what I do for a living, to, okay, now what I do. Oh, now you want to see the product, because not a lot of them have seen it. So when we're talking about e-cigarettes or vapor products, they might have only seen the Juul type style device or a disposable type style device. They don't know about the refillable tank mods, and you change a coil and you refill the e-liquid and things like that. And by the way, this bottle of e-liquid is FDA registered. As of 8/8/16, this nicotine warning had to be on here. So when people are saying we're herky-jerky rebels, no, we are registered. And it blows their mind typically. They're like, whoa, this is kind of like, you guys are actually filed with the FDA? Yeah, most of our products are. The stuff that I sell is. And it's not child abuse. And here it is. So that toolkit is very important to me. And, it's some of my old stuff, right? So I didn't go out and just buy a whole bunch of stuff. I bought a Juul, I threw it in there. And I bought a pack of pods and I threw them in there. And, and as time went on, I've just kind of collected things. So all these are my old products. And it goes a long way when you're showing the difference in devices, because they're so used to seeing whatever they're shown on TV or some news article against vaping. So when they see it, it's, wow, you guys refill them, and this is what it looks like, and you're registered, and kind of blows their mind a little bit. So to answer your question, yes, all of the above. I would definitely come armed, because every one of them are different. They've been in office longer, shorter. They're younger. Their age demographic tells a lot about what their experiences are with the product. Some of the older ones are just shut, like, okay, you're Juul, you're big tobacco, boom. And for the mom and pop retailers, it's important to say you're a mom and pop retailer. You're little vape, not big tobacco. So when you're talking about those things.
Well, let me get into the state Senate. Simple again, guys. I put the link in there. Brian will post it in the other chats, and I will put it in the private chat for. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Hold on there.
Yeah, because Tom's not going to put me out of a job.
Just Tom, I don't want Tom to take your position. I mean, he's a man of few words, and I have to be careful with Tom because
he should have been here on time.
Yeah, and there it is right there. But again, really simple, guys. You put in the state, and that is it. And you could choose your sector, or you could choose your class, so your class 1, class 2, class 3 Senate, and then just click on there, and it'll take you to your what happened here? Oh, California. What did I do wrong now? I
didn't pick the other criteria.
Oh, I didn't. That's right. I'm sorry.
There's only one you need to know there, and that's Pelosi, her email.
Yeah.
She's not a senator, but it works.
It works. Is it faster?
No, you're good.
Okay.
This is the right way to do it, John. I mean, you've got, this is the quickest, fastest resource available. Or you can just Google it. Who is?
Yeah, you can Google it. It's that simple.
It works.
It is that simple. And Google's there. Use it, guys. And let me. The next one is basically your governor, and everybody. God, I would think a lot of people would know who their governor is, and this is another person that we really need to focus on, because I think they're seeing what the rest of the states are doing. States are jumping on the flavor ban and vaping ban, so they're looking at it, and they're looking for seeing how other states are doing it and applying those same things to their agendas. So basically, go in there, click on your state, and click go. That is it, and it's going to show you. Unfortunately, that is my guy, Gavin Newsom. We all know all about. Yeah, shut up, Nick. But it'll give you a little contact the governor. You can see it right down there on the bottom. Do I need to blow that up, guys? Can you guys see it good? All right, let me blow it up.
It's ugly enough.
Yeah, and you can just fill that out. It's simple. It's easy to get a hold of these guys. And the likelihood of getting a one-on-one with your governor is pretty slim to none. But at least you get your message out there, and that's what this whole show is about, is all of us getting our message out there, everybody doing the effort, taking the effort to get those messages out there. Email them. Stop worrying about not filling out this petition or not doing this because it doesn't. Bullshit. We all know what the petition saved vaping here in California. It works. So it does work. So take the time. If you got the time, take it. It takes what, Nick? 5 minutes to fill this thing out. And if you got your a couple minutes. And if you have your email already done, copy and paste. That's why we talked about having that email written out and done and ready to go. Copy, paste it. Do 2 of them. Alternate them if you got to. But simple how to find your governor. Hey.
And, a lot of these things we're talking about are kind of a little different now in today's climate. A lot of them want to do phone calls or Zooms, which we spent a lot of time on Zoom, but they were entertained. They entertained our Zoom calls. So we called their office, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll do a Zoom." So boom, we did a Zoom conference with them. So, then you throw on a jacket and a tie, and you're sitting in your shorts, and you're just having your conversation, which is great. You don't have to drive 4 hours or anything like that. So
you had your sandals on, didn't you, Nick? You had your sandals on.
So, Nick, quick question. Nick, you didn't use that room when you did the whole tie thing, because if you were wearing shorts, they could see it.
Yeah. No, I didn't use this room. The Zoom, I use the background.
He uses the.
I don't think I can use the background on this thing, can I?
Yeah, but you need a green screen. You need a green screen.
I got a green sheet. I don't put it up, though.
Yeah.
It's okay. We can't see you. We can just see your shirt. It's okay.
But
can
you talk about how important it is that the governor of your state understands vaping is crucial, right, Nick?
Are you kidding me? He stops all the bills. I mean, we've seen both of them, right? All the bills have to go to the governor to be signed. Last year, a bad bill, a big tobacco bill, got to the governor, but he took the time and listened and did his own research, thankfully. We gave him a little bit. He did his own research. We talked to his staff, his team, got them the information they needed, and lo and behold, it worked. There's my camera again. What the hell's going on? And it worked. So this year, good bills went that we were involved in, and he heard us again. So it was another good thing. Governors can crush a bill or pass a bill. So absolutely. It don't become law until it gets to the governor and signed.
Can you answer that, Nick? Can you see that? Because it kind of depends on what the issue is being with that in each state. Because some states won't let you, if you're not in that district or you're not in that state, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't help. But is there certain situations where that would help?
Is the question, can they help people in other states?
Yeah, like when something comes up, you notice how sometimes we'll have those links where it's like, okay, this is happening in Nebraska.
Absolutely. The best place to seek out calls to action in other states is CASA. It's a free membership, and it's well worth everything you spend to get in there. Alex and Julie do an amazing job of the communication. It's a consumer-driven initiative and very informative. And they usually have calls to action based on what state's a hot spot. And you can participate in that by a simple petition sometimes a letter or tweet, phone call, Facebook. They'll give you direction on what to do, how to do it, and who to contact. So that you can get involved in advocating on a national level in other states through CASA.
Yeah, please do, Daniel. Gavin Newsom.
Yeah. Pretend like you don't want to vote for his recall. Just for
Tell
the
him, say,
minute.
hey, So, he's
well. Can I bring up a point? I mean, I don't know, Nick. You can stop me if you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Just
on
make
this.
it a quick question, Tim, because your questions can go like 5 minutes long. So get to the point when you ask the question.
Yeah, no. So, what I'm saying is, so my point is that I think it would behoove people to actually look at how their states work in terms of legislation with regard to health and human services and tobacco, because in some states they only can legislate at the state level. They don't allow the municipalities to actually regulate that. So I'm just making a recommendation to understand how that works in your state, and then maybe go to your councilman first, your local person, because they might be able to shut your city down before you even get to the state level.
Yeah, that's why we're going to do city councilman next. And it's like Nick said, all you have to do is go Google, who are my city councilmen, and the name of your state. Bingo. That's it, guys. And it'll give you a complete list. And remember, these guys are business owners, your next door neighbor. These are people that you see every single day. They're not some high profile congressman or senator. These are regular people that want to help the community that they live in. So they want to listen to the people in their community. So just simply go to Google and say, who are my city councilmen, Modesto, California? And it'll show you, give you contact information. It'll show you where their offices are. They'll give you their hours of business, emails, phone call, not cell phones. I'm sure they're not giving their cell phone numbers out, but their business line numbers. And these are people, like I said, they're people that you know. You probably see your city councilman, you don't even know it, and he's standing right next to you in the line at the supermarket.
They're business owners. A lot of them are business owners, John.
Yeah, a lot of business owners.
Tim, that's a very good point you brought up. It starts there. I mean, they're right there in your home area. And like I said, a lot of them do own businesses, and they will tell you when you search out their name on Google. I hate to keep pumping up Google, but a search engine. And if you search them out, they'll tell you what businesses they own. And, you know, some are attorneys, some are doctors, some are restaurant owners, craft beer bars owners. I mean, you just never know. So I know one in our area owns a gun shop. The other one owns a pawn shop. I mean, these are just people who are elected into position, and you can go speak to them because, believe it or not, a lot of these guys have those little health committee hearings or school board meetings, and a lot of them have that vapor product stuff in them. And if you start informing them at that level, then you're changing the game to go up.
Yeah. And the same thing applies with your mayor. We don't hear a lot about your mayor. Mayors kind of stay out of the vaping. There's few mayors, maybe some of the major cities like San Francisco, San Diego, but most of us don't live in San Diego or San Francisco or a major city. Still a good idea to know who your mayor is. So the same thing, Google, hey, who's my mayor? Say your name of your city. You're going to get his office. It may be a little bit harder to get a one-on-one with the mayor, but it's, you know, depending on the size of the community you live in, you might have a shot. You never know, but at least you took the effort. That's what this whole show is about, is taking the effort. Everybody taking that effort to send that email out to your congressman, to your senators, to the president, to your governor, to your city councilman, but just get the word out there. And you kind of briefly talked about, I know you got to go here in a little bit, but I want you to go back into kind of explaining that kit again to everybody. So kind of what they need to kind of bring with them to kind of the history of vaping and how everything works, and how to go about explaining the products to the actual person once you get that one-on-one with them, Nick.
Yeah, so it's important because a lot of these guys don't know the product. They've just seen what they've seen on TV and, worms eating your brains and all that stuff. They don't know what the hell we have going on. And until adult vapors start speaking up and showing the products that we use and depend upon to stay off combustible, we can't make that impact. So mine is, one of each product: a rebuildable, a replaceable coil tank, a pod, a closed system, disposable, a pod system closed, an open system pod, a sub-ohm device, and it's a small kit. I mean, I did all that in like a little 8-inch
Carrier,
little vault. They call it the vault. It's a little black one, but you lift it up and it's
got your fanny. It's your fanny pack. Come on, Nick.
My fanny pack. And you gotta have a bottle of e-liquid, properly marketed e-liquid.
Yeah. So don't bring Candy King with you.
No.
So
you'll get shot in the foot, or you'll hurt the industry. I was trying to read Mike Pell's.
Yeah, go ahead.
Asked a question. Can you guys see that?
Nick, Nick, anyone that has results, any person would reach out for impact. Is that the one, or is it a different question?
Yeah, it's that one.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure what the question is. Can you clear it up for me?
Yeah, I put it up. It should be up on your screen right now.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of curious if there's one that you've talked to that has better responses to talking to us vapors than others. So then that way we can make more of an impact on that one, see if we can positively influence others through that person, I think is what he's
as far as a position versus, because in our state it changes, right? I mean, depending on what it is and how accessible they are. I'm fortunate enough to be able to have lobbyists that get our message to our governor, right? Not every state has that. We haven't had that since 2014. So it's a slow process. But local representatives, I usually hit city council members. And being a business owner, I'm fortunate enough to be part of the, what do you call it? How am I drawing a blank here? The, not the Better Business Bureau. What is it?
I don't know. The Florida State Association.
Chamber of Commerce.
Chamber of Commerce.
So
oh, yeah.
I join chambers of commerce in the cities that my stores are in. And I usually go network with those individuals. And typically, I can't believe Brian's laughing at me. It's good to interact with those people and network, because then you'll meet some of those council members and sometimes maybe even a legislator at those conferences. And that's a good start. If you're not a business owner, then the best way is like we're talking about, seek out those council members, get a feel for who they are. I can't say at any level that there's a better impact. If you have access to all of those people, your best impact is going to be the governor.
Yeah,
no doubt.
I'll tell you a little trick my uncle used to do with city councilmen, Nick. My uncle would always go to the place of business they work and shop there, and then have him see that he is a customer, and then set up the appointment. That's like my uncle he wanted a hot dog cart. He wanted a hot dog cart like they had back east, right? Here in Modesto. Modesto refused to do it. So that's what he did. He went to these councilmen's businesses, his lawyers. Oh, just stopping by this, I was looking for a lawyer. I got an issue. Or he'd go into the hobby shop that one of the councilmen owned and sat down. And it's like, oh yeah, getting into some hobby stuff for my grandchildren. And just made him see that he was a customer, and then set up that appointment to sit down to do that one-on-one with them for getting his vending license for a hot dog cart.
Yeah, right. That's the way it works, John.
That's it.
That's the way you do it. It's just the way you do it. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, we're out anyway, right? Well, we used to be out a lot more, but when we're out, it's every day you interact with these people and may or may not even know it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's shocking sometimes when you see them up on TV and you go, damn, I know that guy, or I know that lady. And there are people in your community that live right near you every day. But sharing the word even with normal people.
Yeah.
In the smoking section, man, it starts there too.
Yeah.
A lot of these people are out and about. I mean, you go to a restaurant, go to the smoking section and vape.
Yeah.
Have those conversations.
Yeah.
You never know. Maybe somebody's brother's, sister's, mother's boyfriend's the legislator. And you have those weird interactions. You know what I mean? I mean, it happens. It's just being real. Let's see Leanna here.
Anybody got any Tim, got anything? Tom's been silent. I want Tom to say something. Just
Tom's
say something.
Always silent, man. Tom,
say something.
Tom
Say,
wouldn't say crap if he had a mouth full of it. This guy, he don't talk.
Tom, ask Nick what his handicap is.
I'm not a golfer, so
he's at least
I can't grow hair. That's my handicap.
Same, man, same.
Yeah, I was gonna say when you said that.
Look at him. Look at that full head of locks over there.
Sam, you have anything for Nick you want to touch on?
No, I think he answered my question from before. I was just trying to call attention to an angle that people can take, because we've highlighted going for the big dogs, which is great.
Yep.
But, sometimes you got to go a little bit lower on the rung if you want to make a difference too.
Yeah. That's why I added all of them, all the way down to your mayor, your city councilman, and your governor. I mean, those are the three that I mean, it's hard to get a one-on-one with your governor, but like I said, and like everyone else has said, these city councilmen, they're just everyday guys, dude. They work in our communities. They own businesses in our communities. They're just a regular guy. And most of them don't even, I was trying to think, most of them don't even have an office. So it's basically, you kind of like, I'll meet you at the park. Depends. I guess it kind of depends on the size of your city, but if they have an office, but most of them don't have, you'll have to meet them at City Hall. They have that little, our City Hall has like a little visitor center where you can kind of go and sit down with these guys, which is kind of cool. And the mayor comes down, and well, I don't know if she does anymore, but the old mayor used to come down into the visiting center once a week and just to answer questions for people that didn't have time to make one of the city council meetings at night that they run.
See your face.
Yeah.
Just let them see your face once in a while. That way, when you go for the meeting. But powerful interactions happen in the community at, car shows or swap meets or restaurants or smoking sections or whatever the hell. That's where those conversations start, those lucky conversations, your community activities. Really good stuff. Leanna, I love her. What she got up here.
That's right. That's why I wanted to do this. It's just, and I get a lot of the frustration. Some people are like, I'm doing it. Yeah, I keep doing it. Don't stop. Don't get frustrated, dude. Keep doing it and try to get others to do it. And I did the poll. Okay, now this is our lowest poll ever on the page, and I don't know if it's just because maybe they were embarrassed to say they didn't know who their representatives are, because but I put on there, don't be embarrassed. It's okay if you don't know, but I asked, do you know who represents you on a state and local level? And it's the lowest poll we ever had. I don't know what the end up totals were on that poll, but it was the lowest poll we've ever had as far as people contributing to the poll. So let me pull it up real quick. And and today's the first time I didn't get an error, so they must have fixed it, or what you told me to do, Tim, I think worked with the page to stop that query error.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even remember.
I cleared the caching and it went away.
Yeah, that seemed to be something that
was the hardest thing, guys, is that it never was this hard to smoke cigarettes, right?
Yeah, it wasn't. You needed a lighter. That's all you needed.
I saw you cigarettes, never fought it, nothing.
Yeah, let me close this.
We got to fight.
Let me find it again because I made the page way too big. All right.
That's going to make some people happy seeing that mech mod in there.
Yeah.
And that was the poll. So basically,
put that in your little show and tell chest.
Yeah. Basically had 19 people. So 11 said yes, they know who represents them, and 8 said no, they don't know who represented them. The lowest poll we ever had. I'm guessing it had to do with maybe just embarrassed to put no down there. because it seems like a lot of people don't know who represents them, and that's the whole thing. We need, like Nick says, we need to get our faces out there. We need to let them know that we're here, and we're here and we're fighting back. So
Kind of shoots holes in the "we vape, we vote" thing.
Yeah. We vape, we vote. I don't know if would you put that in the email? Hashtag we vape, we vote. No, don't do that.
But Nick made the most important point, and even you, John, where you said, make sure, even if you never show up at the freaking poll, okay, even if you can't get your ass off the couch and go to the poll, register to vote. Because you put that in your back pocket, you're holding power right there. You have every opportunity to shut these people down and boot them out of office. Yeah. So in theory, if they know you're a voter, they're inclined to be a little bit more concerned because they want your vote. Yeah. And if they're going to directly just shoot you down, you don't matter to them if you don't have that voting power in your pocket, And I won't ramble. Yeah. So
we all get those.
You never know. Yeah. You might need to pull that out and be that one issue voter too when we need it.
Yeah. I get those cookie cutter emails back, but hey, I keep sending them. Just keep sending them. It doesn't matter. At least, the only time I kind of go, okay, fuckers, is like when I get that instant response to my email. Then I know it's, what I mean? Then it's an automated system.
Yeah. Thank you, John, for taking the time. We appreciate your feedback.
But if it's like a couple days later, then I kind of feel like someone actually opened it. You know what I mean? It took the time to open it. But when it's kind of that feeling you get, like you hit send, and then like freaking 30 seconds later, it's like, bloop, thank you.
But we don't even say John. We just go,
it doesn't even say John.
Your constituent. We appreciate the time you took to write your email.
Yeah. But don't give up. Keep doing it. And like we said, start locally, because I think that's where the battle is going to start getting really scary, guys, because I think it's like they say, the big boys go first, right? New York, California, Florida has no problems, but Texas has been in a pretty good standstill with vaping, right? Yeah,
they got a little bit of tax coming. I think they were talking about beating it down though.
Right, but
I was paying attention to it. Little Texas piped up.
Yeah, so just pay attention. I know a lot of us don't get newspapers anymore, but I think every city has a Facebook page, guys. They have a Facebook page. You can go there on those Facebook page. Like my Facebook page will show what city council meetings are taking place. What are those meetings about? So you can go there and check. Hey, if something comes up that says vaping, get your ass over there. Get your friends. Get over there. Go to the vape shop. Ask your vape shop that you shop at. Hey, did you know this was happening? Are you doing something about it? That's where I think we need to, and if he's not doing anything about it, maybe stop shopping there. No, I don't know. I don't want to say that, but
cities and municipalities pass these little splinter laws and bans on those committee hearings when nobody's there.
Yeah.
Because our industry doesn't show up or know about it or care to know about it. So if we're not dialed in, those kind of things happen.
Yeah.
And granted, there's the ones they intentionally put like 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. in the morning in New York, that kind of crap, you get that back door crap. But if they have a 7 o'clock meeting on a Wednesday night in Clearwater, Florida, and I gotta, and I'm not paying attention, they could put something up like a flavor ban for the city of Clearwater. It happened in Inverness, Florida. Yeah. It's funny. There's no vape shops there. The closest vape shop is 6 miles away.
Oh.
And we ran up there, and there was some guy from the school board speaking, and one of the health experts in the state was speaking, and we showed up 15 vapor strong, and they didn't know what the hell to do, but we still went in there and talked. But in Inverness, Florida, like, there's not even a vape shop in sight, not a vapor, for crying out loud. We had no local vapors. But our point is we're not just going to let it happen in a local city, because that could go somewhere. It could get some legs.
Just start.
We can at least speak about it. And, it worked out, but now we got preemption. So We're lucky.
I just pictured Nick. I just had like this picture of Nick coming out of the phone booth like Superman, and he's suited up. He's just like, okay, he's wearing his Bahama shorts and shirt, and then all of a sudden he just gets into this phone booth, and all of a sudden he just suited up, ready to go.
Dude, you say that. I got a suit at the office, a suit in the car.
See, just bam, I'm ready for a city council meeting anytime.
You just never know. My wife has to keep me under control.
See, I'm one of those weird people where. See, I'm one of those weird people where if I had a chance to get any of these representatives on the show and we can talk to them, I would absolutely love that. That's just me personally. That's not just my own thoughts, though.
Hey, I've been trying.
But I'm pretty sure everyone else is going to say yeah.
You want a Florida representative? I'll get you one.
Yeah, I tried.
I'm down, man.
Yeah, I've tried. I even tried, Nick. I even tried to get a couple articles that Tim has written, has talked about on our show. I've actually emailed the guy that wrote the article, and I get denied every fucking time. I'm just, hey, we'd love for you to come on the show, explain where you got your facts, help us better understand why you wrote this. I don't get that. I don't.
They probably run because they know it doesn't hold any real weight. They're probably like, I don't got nothing for them because I just made this shit up last night.
I Googled this shit.
From Altria. The check with Altria came with that letter that I read. Yeah, that's where that goes.
I can see the news reporter going, I Googled all that shit.
Yeah. I got it off of the Pave Twitter account.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've tried to get someone from whoever, a blogger, even a blogger, that has written anything negative about vaping. I would love for you to come on the show. Tell me why, where you got your information, why you chose to write about this subject. Are you a vapor? Are you not a vapor? Are you an ex-smoker? Explain to me.
They don't have to come on the show because their stuff is already published.
Yep.
And it's mainstream media because it's negative against vaping.
Yeah.
That simple.
Yeah.
They don't have to come on.
Well, what pisses me off is you get these bloggers where you start backtracking their history, and it's like they're talking about, Soviet Union, they're talking about, the economy, they're talking about nothing to do with, and all of a sudden, hey, I got to write an article about fucking vaping. This is the hot topic. Let me go write a negative article on vaping so I can get some views to my page. And it's like, well, now we're asking you to explain yourself, but yet you're going to run and hide. That's what you're going to do. You're running and hiding because you don't want to come on a show like this and sit down and say, well, this is where I got my information. This is where I got this. No. Just, I don't have time for that. I'm too busy. I'm too busy blogging. Well, hey, Nick.
You guys need to reach out to Lindsay and get her on.
Yeah, we'll get Lindsay on. I'll
work on a legislator if you want one from Florida.
We'd love to have somebody there, especially a state that's pro vaping.
Speaking of Lindsay, I think she's moving up to the Boston Herald. I saw some tweet from her today that she may have gotten a job at the Boston Herald.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Ooh.
Nice.
How about
Good for her. We'll get her on the show now, definitely. Well, hey, Nick, I want to thank you for all your help and just it's great. We always love having you on here. You always educate all our viewers and help us better understand how this process works. You come from a winning team, and that's what's important. And I said it in our private, you're a winner, brother. And that's how I look at it. And you've done something right. And we
did something right, but it was all you guys and everybody else. It's not just the organization. You guys laid the bricks during the veto campaign. We can't take credit for that.
Yeah.
That, this year we were able to get where we are because of the vape community stood up and did the right thing last session with our governor. That is not the organization. We kind of followed up with it, but the bricks were laid for that veto campaign that everybody participated in. And that's what made it happen. This whole Florida thing right now, it wouldn't have happened. Preemption is huge, and passing a bill where tobacco is separate from vapor is another huge one, right?
Yeah,
those two things would not have happened without the vapor community stepping up. You guys, your listeners, everybody else out there stepping up, writing those letters, making those pictures, veto SB 810. Gosh, I remember it like it was yesterday. It wouldn't have happened. So, Leanna, great seeing you. Hope
Yeah.
to see you soon. But yeah, I mean, you guys, yeah, we're doing good. You guys made it happen. We appreciate all you guys. And anything I can do to help out, you know, I'm always here. And I'll get that legislative rolling. You guys win the day.
You're our
We
number one.
appreciate you, Nick.
Our number one guest, baby.
Nick, we appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice
we
seeing
do.
you again.
Hey
You
Nick.
got it. You too. Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
Enjoy it.
Tom is speaking. Shh. Quiet, everybody. Quiet. Go ahead, Tim. Go ahead, Tom.
Nick, enjoy whacking your little white balls and watch out for alligators.
Alligators are my friends, bro.
Yeah. He uses neon
We love
balls.
Obviously,
Jesus.
Tom didn't see his guns before the show. I was like, I take care of the alligators. They don't take care of me.
Yeah, Nick's wearing leather loafers right now, baby, because he
I'm gonna
killed
try
one of
to
those gators.
play golf and hit those little white balls now.
Nick's backup golf balls are the ones he snagged from the putt place. He's got an orange one and a purple one and a green one and a yellow one. Yep.
Yep. The Congo River.
I hit it in the clown's mouth. I
conquered the windmill.
We're talking about playing, right?
What?
The Gators on that course, Tom, are fake.
Oh,
The course that I play, the putt ones, the Gators
Yeah.
are fake.
well, don't worry about them ones.
Dang. It's
You don't have to
2021. We need to get them to step up their game.
Yeah.
Real Gators on the putt courses.
run.
Right.
Yeah, I want to see
Real
those.
gators matter.
I want to see those kids run. They need to exercise. They need to
Right?
exercise.
Putt Survivor.
Yeah. Can you make it to the 18 holes? It's not about getting the ball in the hole. It's about if you can actually make it through the whole 18 holes.
Survivor
Yeah.
putt. I love
They
it.
hand
got-
you a
You got kids walking around going, "I made it," and you got 3 fingers left on their hand.
this is the thing. You get a free game because they hand you a quartered chicken when you walk in for hole 1, and then they want to see if you have both hands by the time you finish 18. And if you have both hands and the quartered chicken is gone, you get a free game.
There you go. Next time's free.
Next time
You
it's
need to
free.
pick your color ball.
Yeah.
All right, Nick. Thanks
All right,
again, man.
guys.
Have
Y'all
a
be
good
good.
night. We'll
Stay
talk
safe.
See you,
soon,
Nick.
See you, Nick.
Take care. I appreciate all you guys.
Appreciate you too, man.
Thank you.
brother.
Appreciate you
Yeah.
too.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Look at this panel.
And then
God.
there were 4.
And then there was 4. Well, 3 because Tom doesn't talk.
I hear we'll be getting a 5th here shortly,
Go.
potentially.
Madison hopefully is coming
a
back.
little spoiler for everybody.
Yeah, yes. And it just Madison is so needed right now with all the CBD stuff, and we've had no CBD segment on this show for quite some time without Madison. So I'm really excited to get her back and actually get in depth with CBD.
Yes.
And hey, Tom, just for the hell of it, say something. Just
Something.
Something. Just say
Something.
something. All right, there we go. That was your 5 seconds of fame.
All right, I'm going to mute my mic again.
It was,
All right.
it was a well-placed noun. Way to go.
Yeah,
Tom.
it was good. Brian, say something.
I'm jealous of Tom and his boom booms.
His boom booms.
Yes.
Oh,
I gotta
Well-
be careful on wording on that stuff because
I should be able to use that newest one tomorrow.
yeah.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, it's just getting nice enough out for me to be outside to use that stuff, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful today.
All right.
I
Before we
know.
get
Thanks,
into the
Nick.
news, hey, you guys get a room. All right. Before we get into the news, again, guys, please take the time to do what we talked about today. Get on Word, Google Doc, write it out. Stick to the facts. Add that information Nick had talked about, which I didn't even think about, which is great. Put that you belong to CASA, and CASA is 250,000 strong. Or add the local vape groups. Add the economic impact that would cause your city or your state that you live in if you take it away. Add those things. Simple to do, guys. Get on it. Don't give up. Don't get frustrated. Don't get angry. Keep at it and help get other people involved if you have to. Get other people involved, your family, emails, friends at the vape shop. Ask guys, hey, did you email your congressman? Did you talk to your city councilman? Do what you got to do. Stick together and get mad. Get fucking mad. That's it. That's what the whole show is. Get fucking mad. We need to get mad. We need to stop being nice. Be mad. All right, let's get into Mr. Tim and the news. Damn, that was fucking
Is it?
loud.
Is it? Am I actually in the news? Do it.
There it goes.
Am I actually in news?
You are the news, sir.
I'm
are
in.
the news.
So I mean, I've become one with the news. I'm in the news. All right.
I
So
think you're the paper. You're actually is the name of the paper.
I am the paper. Yeah.
Is the name of the
I am
little bumper?
biodegradable. I am
No, but
biodegradable.
is the bumper says, "Oh, Swift in the news." Yeah, so it's your paper. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
There you go.
So I'm sparing everybody tonight a little bit of. I'm giving you back. You know, if you've ever been on a WebEx meeting and they end early, the person that always runs the meeting says, "I'm going to give you back 10 minutes of your life." Almost as if you had time to smoke a cigarette at that point, and then you just take it right back off, and that was how you canceled it all out. However, we all vape now, so we get to save our lives, and we do get to save that 10 minutes. So we're not going to do an advocacy article tonight. I feel like the whole front end of the show was primarily about advocacy, and that's wonderful. So I didn't have anything specific, so I'm going to go a little bit in reverse on this particular delivery. I wish I could tap dance, Daniel. I like challenge, like put down like the sand on the thing, and like challenge. You know, like we can go back and forth on the next show. I'll get my linoleum out next show.
I just pictured you doing the Pee Wee Herman dance, dude. The fucking...
That's an easy dance to do, you know, because who doesn't like to say the word tequila, you know? But at any rate, so as far as advocacy is concerned, I'm flipping it on its lid. I'm going advocacy first on tonight's news report. And I would say just simply echoes what Nick brought up, and that was register for CASA. That's your starting point. I would say get on there. That way you can stay connected to all the calls to action and everything that's pretty much going on around the country. CASA is wonderful with releasing calls of action during a strategic time. So you may get on their site day after day and you don't see much going on. You can look at the national level and at your state level and find out if there's something going on where you can get involved. But start there. It's built around consumers like ourselves, and really what that whole first hour was about. The moral to the story is it's about the power of our voices, right? Because if we just stay quiet and stay frustrated, we're not going to make any headway. We need to speak up in our own sectors and reach out and communicate. Try to get those meetings if you can, but send those emails. So that's your advocacy. I'm knocking that one off the table real fast tonight. So I got two other articles that I brought up. I will share my screen now. Unfortunately, tonight I don't have a lot of fun graphics to share with everyone. So you're just going to have to look at boring old HTML text. Let me make that a little tiny bigger for you. All right. Shocker. Lawmakers hear conflicting arguments on bill to ban sales of flavored tobacco products in Maine. This is something that's happening more and more. You see more states, specifically at the health services level. That's usually where most of these start. Somehow they're able to be kind of the reckoning voice where most of these particular bills get their launching pad from. But Maine is on deck. They are now trying to sort of follow suit. And John, was it not last week that we spoke on the aspect that Maine spent the most, or were they no money on tobacco? $0 on tobacco harm reduction. Yet they're a particular state that's all about wanting to regulate and ban the sale of flavored tobacco products, i.e., including the dreaded menthol cigarette attack, the assault cigarettes that are out there that are just, completely harming the nation far and wide. And they want to include a bunch of other stuff. So they want to throw in vaping devices and flavored cigars as well as a banned item statewide. So they have started taking hearing meetings on the inside at the Health and Human Services Committee level. They heard testimony last week on the 7th. From a wide array of people, and this included people that were either pro or anti policy, right? So they listened to, as far as the pro side, they listened to not only public health advocates, but doctors, dentists of all people, students and former smokers who support the ban. Now, I'm going to guess that the dentist probably got lumped in there because, I don't really know what damaging effects from cigarettes I've seen on my dental health other than maybe staining my teeth, but you probably get more of that out of coffee and stuff like that. So dentists were involved. I found that a little interesting that they actually had dentists show up. I unfortunately was not able to pull anything out of the article where we got a quote from one of the dentists. Now, I've had people say in the past, I had smokers walk up to me actually at a club, people that I know, my friends, and point at me and be like, that stuff's going to rot your teeth. Because it kind of sounded like my mom, when you're sucking on, the Jolly Rancher or something, that shit's going to rot your teeth. And that was their argument. Mind you, they're both still smokers to this day. But just some people you can't win over. So there we were at a party a couple weeks ago, sitting there next to each other as they smoked and I vaped. So the argument from the pro-policy people was that if you ban flavored forms of tobacco, all of the above, their argument is that it will save lives, and it will also save hundreds of millions of dollars now spent on tobacco-related diseases in Maine. I find that a little contradictory, only because that kind of seems like where they would like to go with a lot of things. They want you staying sick and addicted. So some of this approach just seems highly contradictory to me. Anyway, the opponents who did stand up claimed that the ban would only. I'm sorry, not the opponents. Yes, the opponents. The opponents who stood up claimed that the ban would only force the sale of menthol cigarettes to the black market. Shocker. I think that's an obvious answer that, you start taking stuff away from people, specifically people who are being forced to forfeit something that is an adult choice, and they're not ready to give it up. You can't really force people into a cold turkey situation. They are going to go to the black market. They are going to find less safe ways to acquire what it is that they want. Not to mention, you probably see a little bit of a spike in the crime situation because as the black market starts to jump up, you're going to have people trying to take advantage of that black market. And now you've got people standing outside of gas stations or in seedy alleyways selling menthol cigarettes one by one in order to go ahead and make an extra buck. So not everybody's willing to go that far. And it would also drive people to leave the state and venture over into neighboring state, New Hampshire, to go ahead and acquire those products so they would still be legal there. So I think the bolstered argument on that one is that you're going to give all that tax revenue to a totally different state, and you're just going to throw it away, which I think is a valid point. One supporter and former smoker, and this was a person who I think the initial comment in the article was something like how they were disgusted by cigarettes now, and they dread the day that they ever took the first drag and all this other hoopla. I mean, I can understand somebody finding some liberation in the fact that they've ditched cigarettes now and they're living a much healthier life. Not everybody can take that same path. I don't know how this person quit. I don't know if they just gave it up, went cold turkey. They didn't state whether they used a tobacco harm, an NRT, or anything to get off of smoking, but they were clearly happier that they were now no longer smoking, which is great for getting off of smoking. But kind of bolstered their argument that said that one former smoker stated that the tobacco industry's use. Here's your general argument. I'm sure she probably had a Benjamin shoved in her pocket before she said this. One supporter and former smoker stated that the tobacco industry's use of sweet and fruity flavors like cotton candy and other ones she threw in banana and some other flavors is clear evidence of efforts to hook children on nicotine. I disagree with that argument. Flavors were incorporated into vaping to help smokers detach from that association of the flavor of smoking and give them a much more pleasurable experience. Whether or not kids are into flavors or adults like them or they don't like them, that's my stance on why flavors were utilized, just to give somebody something to latch onto, other than just straight PGVG and nicotine in it. She was also disgusted, this was her word, disgusted, that the tobacco industry is barely trying to hide the fact that they are cultivating a new generation of lifelong addicted customers. Again, the vaping industry gets lumped into the tobacco organizations. And we're always associated with that. I wish that other than the fact that the FDA deemed vaping a tobacco product, which we all know it is not, other than the nicotine element of it, which can potentially not even come from a tobacco leaf. It could come from other methods of harvesting. That is how they're calling it a tobacco product. I just think that's an unfortunate group of company that we have to sit in. So for everyone who is from Maine, I don't know if we have any Maine viewers. If we do, the bill that's actually on the committee floor for the Health and Human Services is LD. I don't know what legislative document, I'm going to guess is what LD stands for, 1550. And it has bipartisan support. So not only do we have Democrats, but we have Republicans showing bipartisan support for this ban in Maine. So, it's not, we don't have one particular side of the aisle fighting for this. One fun fact, if that's what you want to call it, Maine reportedly has the 11th highest rate of smoking-related cancer in the country. So that means there's quite a bit of smokers. But as we all know, they don't spend any money on trying to get people to quit. So rather than offer people alternatives or substitutes or counseling or whatever, they give no money towards that cause. They basically are just going to say, we're going to take it away from you, and that's going to save your life. By the numbers, tobacco-related illnesses in Maine cost $800 million a year. $800 million a year, with half of that being paid for by government-funded health insurance programs. So it sounds to me like they're a little ticked off that their reserves have to go towards getting people off, preventing cancer or treating people who've acquired cancer through the form of smoking. Really, throughout this whole entire article, they really kind of went and angled themselves towards elements about smoking and how dangerous that was and how it was the most preventable disease based on smoking being in their state. But that does not include vaping because, as we know, vaping is not a cancer-causing activity. I mean, if anything, it's grossly or significantly safer than smoking. So one of the sponsors of the bill, his name is Bill Davis. So if you're on the advocacy kick right now and you want to reach out to somebody, this guy actually authored the bill. Or was part in authoring and supporting the bill. His name is, he's a Republican. His name is Bill Davis, and he actually has been in the fight for this whole thing for quite some time. As a matter of fact, in 2017, he actually authored and sponsored a bill that raised the legal tobacco age from 18 to 21. And it would be interesting to note that he is a former smoker. So, he actually had his, he was one of those smokers who now is majorly anti, probably because he's seen the light, but he's also not, he's not on the side of vaping either. Opponents of that legislative document included, this is who stood up and fought to not support the bill. They were owners of convenience stores, tobacco shops, and cigarette and cigar industry association people. I've already kind of highlighted their argument, but it was reiterated later in the article that they think it's a bad idea because it will push sales to neighboring New Hampshire and consequently result in the loss of jobs in the state of Maine. So that would be people that work in convenience stores, own convenience store or tobacco shops, probably moreover, and people who work in vape shops. So all those people who are working behind the counter trying to fight the good fight, they're going to lose their jobs because if they ban it, then there won't be much left on the shelves. One of the opponents, his name is Christopher Jackson. I believe he was part of the cigar industry. He brought up some very valid points, and these are the arguments that I think, I sometimes try to use when I speak up. He called this whole bill extremely ironic because Maine is one of the states that actually is supporting the legalization of marijuana and those related products. Now, while I don't have one iota of an issue with the legalization of marijuana or those related products, provided you are a responsible adult and you can acquire those products legally. He called it ironic because they're kind of moving that campaign forward rather rapidly, and it's also including into that all kinds of edible elements to the THC market. So things like gummy bears and other types of edibles, and they don't show any concern for those being an attractant for kids. They want to argue the e-liquid flavors are a massive attraction. What doesn't look better to a kid than a bag of gummy bears, cherry and lime and lemon and all this other stuff that's sitting in a bag. Why wouldn't they be attracted to that? And these are 13, 14, 15-year-old kids who are going to want that as well. So you take away the vaping, you maybe win that war a little bit. However, you do kind of introduce other elements that you are supporting, which are contradictory. He called the whole entire. Now this is true. You read these names. You tell me if a kid wouldn't want something like that. Lay's. I don't know that they have a Lay's chip dip flavored THC infused edible, John. But if they do, I'll be sure to let you know.
Yummy.
He called the entire principle of the meeting ironic, as all kinds of cannabis-infused goodies like, get this, gingerbread flavored or sea salt caramel bonbons, as well as pumpkin cheesecake and chocolate-dipped strawberry French macaroons. That stuff just sounds all too appetizing. As far as the bill itself, they're going to work on it for a little while. They're not going to... They're not actually moving it up to full legislature just yet. It's going to sit in session at the Health and Human Services level and stay in committee until they can work out all the kinks or whatever revisions they need to introduce to it. So what I wanted to do in terms of that was they highlighted a particular article, and this opponent of the bill told, and so Brian, if you want to share this article as well, I can give you the link for that one is actually in the document for tonight, but I'm going to give you another one. Everybody thought, or at least he thought, that it would be interesting to go read this particular article, which was in the same paper, but I wanted to bring that one up. I just wanted to show everybody the picture, because really what's going on is there is a massive influx of people who are working in the THC industry and the marijuana industry who are like ramping up all of these different variations of edibles. So I wanted to bring this particular article up.
Warcraft. Damn, Tim. Work on your
Right
bookmarks.
All right. Come on, load.
He's
All
got
right,
links
so this
upon
is an
links
article.
upon
It's called
links.
Not for Kids, and I want to report on this one next week, so I'm not going to get into any meat and potatoes here on this one tonight. I'll save this
So
one
just
for next week. We can
Did you
review.
send that link so I can put it in?
I can't scroll because I'm scrolling on the wrong screen. Not for Kids. Explosion of colorful cannabis treats coming soon to Maine. There's your first picture.
Yeah.
You want to try to tell me what kid wouldn't be interested in having something like that in a box next to their computer with their Red Bull while they're playing Fortnite for quite some time? I do think that there's a massive amount of irony in this. Again, I don't have a qualm with people wanting to acquire something legally or utilize these edibles. A lot of people like that route. They don't like to smoke it or something like that. But, this does lend some contradictory premise to the idea that, kids are supposedly attracted to flavors and vaping. Why wouldn't they be attracted to something that looks as good as a strawberry chocolate macaroon? I find that highly interesting to me. So that was that particular article. My takeaways on that one was I just thought it was another farce of a hearing where the health departments are kowtowing to pressure from special interest groups. Advocacy will be in order here, and I suggest you follow this bill as the federal government's efforts to ban menthol cigarettes and things like that probably aren't going to happen overnight. That's probably a multi-year venture. So again, the states have power as well. They can shut you down faster than the federal government will. All right, so there's that one. Here's another one that I wanted to highlight. This one is called Free Cigarettes, or Free E-Cigarettes for Smokers in an A&E trial. Now, while that in principle sounds good, Unfortunately, kids, this trial doesn't exist in the United States. The only reason I really kind of brought this particular article up in principle was because this is the difference between, let's just say, potentially a public health system versus a private healthcare system. In countries that have public healthcare systems, whether or not it's a system that could work well for us here in the United States, that's debatable. People will argue that one. In a public health system, they're inclined to try to keep the society healthier, right? And that's why you see such contradictory information coming out, like the Royal College of Physicians reports and things like that. So basically what's happening here is smokers in England, now this is for people who like sprain their ankle or get a bad cut or end up just basically at emergency services. So they go to urgent care basically, and they're asked, obviously, you know, when you check in and you have to fill out the initial form, they're going to ask you if you're a smoker or something like that, just your basic healthcare medical information. If they find out that you are a smoker, they're going to give you they could potentially give you a free e-cigarette kit and teach you how to use it. So that's a far cry from what we do with our healthcare professionals here. The trial is actually, you know, simply designed to try to help to get people to quit smoking. So patients will be offered not only a device, they'll also be given enough e-liquid supplies that would supply you for a week, and a referral to local smoking cessation services along with medical advice to bolster that. So not only are they going to give you the product, they're going to give you the e-liquid, they're going to refer you to services that can assist you, and they're going to give you an education on vaping and how it's more beneficial to you. So that right there is leaps and bounds above where we're at right now in our particular situation. So hospitals in Norfolk, London, Leicester, I think that's how you say that, and Edinburgh will participate. Now, e-cigarettes are not available with the National Health Services there, other than in trials, but health experts in England say that they can help people quit. Well, I mean, I think the Royal College of Physicians have basically stated that over and over and over again.
Aren't they doing
There's growing evidence that supports the use of e-cigarettes. 50,000 smokers quit per year in England with the help of vaping. 50,000 people. Think about that. Like if we had
this is our chance.
That type of tool here in America, how many people we could get to quit smoking just by using vapor products.
Tim needs to get
the trial's going to start in the fall, and smokers who are visiting emergency departments will be given vaping starter packs regardless of what they are being treated for. So again, it's not because you're showing up for a lung injury or you put a cigarette out on your forearm or something to that effect. Basically, you could show up for a sprained ankle, and if they find out you're a smoker, you're going to be eligible for this particular trial.
Yeah. Who thinks Tim should get a haircut?
But if they go beyond that and they continue to pursue vaping, the government is not going to facilitate them their vaping supplies. They're going to have to go ahead and fund that on their own.
What if he puts it in a man bun?
Now, not everyone is going to get a vaping kit either. Only some will be given leaflets with details of local smoking cessation services. So this is kind of, when I read that line, I was like, okay, they're setting up for an additional study. They're going to basically do a trial where they see how well people... I have to redo my... What was that, John?
No, on that study there.
Rude.
Yeah, we were saying things because you couldn't hear us, so we were saying that you need to get a haircut and put your hair in a ball.
Oh, okay.
But on that trial, I think they're doing it like a two-type trial, right? Where some are getting some are getting e-cigarettes and some are getting just information. Correct? I don't know if you do. I don't remember you stating that in the part of the article.
That's coming later in the article. That's what I was just saying. When I read the line about the fact that only some were going to get leaflets versus a kit, I said it sounds to me like they're setting up a trial study to see how well people fare by only being referred to services versus being able to actually receiving a kit in general. So they did mention that. They say that they are going to conduct a study. So after 1 month, 3 months, and 6 months, both groups will be asked if they still smoke. So I guess that's how they're going to gather their data to kind of, and this is a good study, really, because that's what we're trying to prove is vaping a beneficial tool for people to quit smoking? And if they find out that the people that were only getting services offered, like counseling or who knows? I mean, being hypnotized or whatever.
Patches. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And they don't state what those health services will provide for them. It just that they will be given information to find those. So a professor, her name is Caitlin Notley, and she's one of the people that's helping to lead the study, believes that the intended audience would be those who smoke and had never considered vaping as an option as a method to quit smoking. So she thinks that people that show up that are smokers in the emergency room are probably people that were just kind of in the dark, didn't know anything about it, probably didn't consider it, and still enjoyed smoking, didn't realize the benefits of vaping at all. So hard numbers, and this was something that something that actually I think we were kind of looking at numbers last week a little bit, but I didn't have a finger on the pulse of this one. And this number is going to be significantly lower than the United States just due to pure population. But 75,000 people died in England from smoking-related illnesses in 2019. So 75,000 people died, but 50,000 people quit smoking with the use of vapor products in the UK. Yeah. So had those people not switched to vaping, we could be looking at over 120,000 people that potentially could be dying from smoking-related illnesses. The professor also believes that thousands more could have quit by now. However, and this is another thing that happens. However, due to the unfounded safety fears of e-cigarettes, smokers were deterred from choosing vaping, which is kind of what we have a problem with here, is that there's a lot of mixed messaging. There's a lot of fear-mongering going on, propaganda that gets people to basically be scared of vaping, and they stay smoking. That's just the bottom line. So my takeaway on that one is to the crowd in general, thinking about moving to England now.
Yeah, what I thought was kind of cool when I read the article is that they aren't going to continue buying the e-liquid. So when you run out what they gave you, that's it. It's up to you to go purchase.
Correct.
Which is smart, because then it really shows that you want to quit smoking, that you went out of your way to purchase more e-liquid because you know it's working for you. So I thought that was cool when I read that in that article.
Yeah. I think
because otherwise,
all the right way.
But otherwise, it'd be just like, yeah, come back next week and we'll give you another 30 ml bottle. It's like, you're going to have to, if you really wanted to quit, you're going to go and do it. You're going to purchase some e-liquid. So I like
Very
it.
true.
It's smart idea.
Yep. And then I just said, I said this article highlights the differences between public and private healthcare systems. And that's just the flat out truth. You see more support for vaping in countries where they do have public healthcare systems, Sweden, places like that. So there you go, kids.
Awesome.
That's your rock star hair news. I'm sorry, I missed a lot of the comments because I'm trying to pay attention to things, and then I see all.
No, I hadn't noticed your your headphones went out, so we were just telling. I said that Tim should get a haircut, and then Brian said no, he should put his hair in a.
What's the guy's name from The Office? The funny guy with the glasses. What's his name? Tall guy. Funny.
Dwight.
Dwight, yeah. I saw a GIF today that said, "Not in a million billion years." Not in a million billion years.
My funniest with money thing is that from where he's got the president of the United States and he's talking to the rest of the world people, and they ask him how much his demands are. And he goes, $1 million. And everyone's like, dude, that's not a lot of money. 1 billion gazillion dollars. What is that from? What's the name of the movie?
I know.
Dr. Evil.
Austin Powers.
That's Austin Powers.
Austin Powers. How much? $1 million. They're all like, all right. Yeah.
That's not very much.
$1 million.
That's still one of my favorite movies, the whole series.
I agree, Mowgli. That's the whole point, right? Yep. I mean, freedom of choice, right?
Freedom of choice.
Yeah.
Freedom of choice. And it's time. I hate, okay, look, I was a parent. Was I a great parent? No, my kids fucked up, but I accepted the responsibility for my kids' actions. My son broke a window. I paid for that window. If my son rammed his car into your fence, I'm not saying that happened. It has. I fixed your fence, but that's how it is. I accept the responsibility for my children. as consumers, as an adult consumers, are not breaking the law.
Mhm.
We're following the law. Your son or daughter is the one that's breaking the law. They're not getting punished for it. We are. And that's bullshit. You think about that. I mean, we're doing what we're supposed to do. We go to work, we earn our money, we pay our taxes. I want flavors. I deserve flavors. I'm not breaking any laws. I am
Right.
of age to buy a vapor product. I am of age to buy cigarettes, whatever. But accept some of the responsibilities. Your kids are the ones that are breaking the laws, not us. So
Well, yeah, and I mean, overall, it's condescending. It's like the government taking these steps is basically saying you're an idiot.
Yeah.
You have no ability to know how to take care of yourself. That you can't decide what's good, bad, or otherwise for you. It's your personal choice.
Yeah.
And to use these false arguments to take it away is wrong.
Yeah.
Flat out.
Well, I'd like to cover something that Brian
Cover
said
away.
in the
Cover
chat,
away.
in the chat here. He said that where'd it go again? He said that nobody should be vaping. Nobody should be vaping unless it's necessary. And so the thing is, like with that, like when we all like started, like for those who smoked or those who, whatnot, like when you started smoking, like it wasn't a necessary thing for you to start smoking. A lot of it came down to friends or peer pressure, or like you turn 18, like, hey, I want to try this just because I'm 18. There's different circumstances behind it. But the thing is, like, kind of like what we said is like, would I rather somebody be vaping or smoking a cigarette? Like, that's where I come from. It's okay. This one's actually safer than that one. If you're gonna do it, I'd rather have you be doing this than that. So, I mean, I get his point. Like, nobody should be doing it, and there are people who start out vaping and never had a cigarette. Like, there are those people, and I totally get that.
Yeah.
But if they're out of age and they want to do it, they want to try it, I'm not going to stop them. I'm not going to say you shouldn't be doing it because it's whatever. But having the ability to adjust your nicotine, to have a lower amount of nicotine, to have the ability to quit whenever you want to go down to zero and not have any nicotine and just use that. That's like the great aspect of it is like you have that flexibility. You don't with cigarettes. It's always the same amount.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the idea that you can't quit vaping is bullshit because it's all set up for you to quit vaping. I mean, if they didn't want you to quit vaping, we wouldn't see zero. We wouldn't. Why sell zero? It doesn't make any sense. And you have that weaning process. You have it 18, 50, all the way down to zero. You have an opportunity to quit vaping if you choose to stop vaping or work your way down to zero and continue vaping because you enjoy the flavors. And I mean, it's just that to me, I'm just done. I'm done hearing these parents bitch and complain. I mean, Brian, you have a young one, so you haven't gotten to that. They haven't gotten to those at adolescent age and those teenage years. And man, there was many nights where my kids fucked up. And I'm getting out of bed. I mean, Tim probably's done it to his parents, but I did it to my parents. And my parents, they bucked up. There's like, hey, I'm responsible for this kid. He fucked up. I'm gonna, instead of going after us as the consumer, they should be focusing their attention on the store that sold it to them, the uncle that bought it for them, the guy that purchased it for them on the street, or God forbid they stole your fucking credit card and they used it to purchase something online. Now, who do you blame there? I mean, fuck, dude. I mean, I don't have any kids anymore, but I still look at my statement every month. I mean, it's like, okay, what did I buy? Because I don't remember what I buy. And and you're a parent and you look at your statement and you're not a vapor and you're not a smoker and you see Element Vape on there, that's not going to draw any red flags.
Yeah. Well, I think the gist of it is a lot of what those kids get, it comes from under the table. They're
Right.
getting it from friends and they're not ordering online. I mean, that's if you can look at statistics and show that real quickly.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it is a parent's responsibility, but all kids are going to do that shit.
Right.
Every kid's going to be scandalous at some point in their grown up life. I mean, yes, there are some that don't, but it's going to happen. But the more you highlight it and the more you put make it this taboo, forbidden fruit thing that they shouldn't have, they're going to be drawn to it even more. You know, so just don't talk about it. It goes away.
Well, what Brian asked
Okay,
again.
Dad.
He's like,
Okay.
he goes, so there isn't any proof that vaping hurts your lungs. That's really not what we're saying. What we're saying is for yourself. Like, what we do know is what the carcinogens do in cigarettes and how it really harms your lungs, and it makes them, black and charcoal and all that stuff. Like, that's not from the nicotine. That's from all the other crap. Like, you're
The 4,000 other
you're
chemicals.
breathing in. Yeah. What we are saying is what's proven in the documents and stuff is that it's been proven from the Royal College of Physicians that it's 95% safer than smoking.
Yeah.
So wouldn't you rather have the chance to do something that's safer for yourself or not? So like driving a car, you put a seatbelt on because it's safer to drive with a seatbelt.
Yeah,
Kind of same concept.
Did you have that meme that sent me that meme that said CDC is now recommending that you wear your seatbelt at all times, no matter, even if you're not in the
car too. Yeah.
outside the car too.
Yeah, that was me.
I laughed for like 10 minutes when I saw it. I couldn't stop fucking laughing, dude. I was like, that one went right up with that TikTok video with the guy with the chicken. When the chicken crosses the road and the guy's running up after the chicken going, why'd you do it? Why'd you do it? I laughed. I'm ready to crack up and laugh right now from that stupid ass video.
Now here comes the guilt trip from Mike.
Hey, let's give happy birthday to Mike.
Well,
I
we
actually
could all
had
do
that
it right
on
now and say happy birthday.
Yeah.
Ready, guys?
Let's sing happy birthday to Mike since
Ready? It's not copyrighted. That is free.
I'm not going to
It's a free for all.
Everybody in chat, you sing it too, even though we can't
Everybody.
hear you.
On
Everyone
three.
says happy
Ready?
birthday in the chat.
On three. One,
Yep.
two, three. Happy
birthday.
birthday to
Oh, God.
you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mike Piles. Happy birthday to you. And many more. There
you go.
Don't hit us because we're not great at singing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
don't play back that part of the show. Like when you get to the get to the 157 mark, just mute it or turn it off. There you go.
Great.
Oh, happy birthday, buddy. Happy
I'm not
birthday.
going to be guilted into it, so no.
You chicken. You're a chicken.
Tom sang silently with a strong voice.
Yeah.
I don't operate on being guilted into stuff.
Tom thinks he's going to run for president someday, so he doesn't want that sitting on it.
What do you mean? Thinks I'm going to. 2024. Vote for me.
Daniel unsubscribes.
Tom's on the ticket, everybody. Tom is on the ticket.
He's on a ticket.
Now we're down to two Daniels. Two Dans.
Did we lose a Daniel just because of the singing?
That's why I put my headphones up. I've heard you people sing it. No bueno.
Yes, Brian.
We don't inhale.
Brian, yes, that would if you put equal amounts together, that would make it a 1.5 and not a 3.
Exactly. I think a lot of people think that these things don't leave our fucking sides. I mean, seriously. I mean, they think it's on us 24/7, nonstop. I mean, I've been vaping 9 years. I'm a 10 mil, except for on Wednesday. During this show, I kind of fluctuate from 10 to like 20. So I can't. I'm trying. I think you guys have noticed. I haven't vaped so much during this show. I'm trying to keep my 10 milligrams per day where it is, but most of us don't do more than 10, 15 milligrams a day. And even if you were to break that down, 24-hour day, I mean, fuck. Maybe. All right, here we go. This is what we're going to do next week. Everybody on Tuesday, everybody set their puff counters to 0.
Okay.
Everybody turn on their puff counters on their device. So put down which device you're using. Somewhere we'll have to put it on the ZampleBox page, what device we're going to use. And we started at 0. So that
Why
way
not put it on our group page?
Yeah, we'll put it on our group page. That's right. We'll put it on our group page, and we'll see how many puffs each one of us do throughout the day.
We'll just start it at the beginning of show time Tuesday night, and then beginning of show time on Wednesday. We can show the counter.
Yeah, and just
be
see how
24
many, and nobody cheat. Don't use another device, Tom. Use one device all day.
Why you got to point at me like that?
So
I'm not
how
the
can
one
I do a
I'm
counter
the
on
one
this?
No, you
with
can't do. Yeah, there's
a
no puff counter on the mech
wall
mod.
full of devices.
There's no puff counter on a mech mod. 99 puffs every 20 minutes. Fuck. Yeah, I've never really paid attention. I think all my puff counters are just overlap themselves. I don't know. I don't see all my puff info. Here we go. On my god damn. I can't see that.
Why? Because they put the puff counter font at like a point, like a
It's
0.1,
so
like a 1
small.
point
Because
font.
he's old and blind. He needs
See,
tripod.
Tom, I was gonna say that.
Yeah, I'll have to get my phone out and take a picture of it.
Yeah,
I-
your
I'm-
macro lens.
Yeah, but I use my paranormal. Everybody knows this is the mod that's always in my hand. It's on every show. That's my go-to mod. See, one of the mods I trust. So I'll use that one. I'll set it back to 0, and we'll go 24 hours. And when we come back at 6 p.m. next Wednesday, we'll have our totals. We'll see what we're actually hitting. Yeah, but it's funny. And like I even talked about, it's a little trick I did in the beginning to keep myself from not vaping so much. It's simple. Don't keep it in front of you, especially if it's sitting right there in front of you at your desk. I have one buddy that literally I laugh too because he literally has a mod in every fucking room. So if he's sitting on the couch and he forgets his mod, there's one there on the coffee table. He's got one next to him, his bed on his nightstand. I'm not shitting you. He has one in his fucking bathroom, just in case he goes to the bathroom and he doesn't have his fucking mod.
Hey,
with
sometimes you just gotta voop.
him. You gotta voop. You gotta voop.
It's relaxing. If none of you have done it, you should really go try it.
It does improve the aroma.
It really does.
It does. I don't know though. I'm gonna have to disagree with you depending on what flavor you're vaping at the
Wow.
time you're vooping. Because if you're vooping like a chocolate or a chocolate, chip, those two don't go together.
Mm-mm. No.
You want something
You
tropical.
want something fruity.
So, John, I
Hey.
did put it in the chat. If anyone wants to participate in it, the viewers want to
Yeah,
do it.
that's good.
Do
Yeah,
it on
anyone-
Tuesday. Take a picture, send it to the email, and we'll go through them on the show too.
yeah, we'll
Mike
go
Pell's
through-
anything that smells better than poop. There you go. There's your
Cranberry
answer.
apple refresher is really good.
And anyone, Brian, can you put that up there, Brian? Or do I need to do it?
Yeah, I could.
If you haven't joined our Facebook group page, we started one just for this show. It's a great way for you guys to keep in touch with us during the week or have suggestions for the shows, topics that you'd like for us to address on the show. It's a great page. We have a lot of fun on it. No hand checks, please, unless you are asking a question about a mod. Then no big deal. But we want to try to keep that page hand check free. So
Yeah, and shut down free.
yeah, it's shut down free.
You can shut down free because Facebook likes to shut everything down that gets a little squirrely. So
I will put it in the YouTube channel, so it's up there if you guys want to join.
I was already
the
ahead of
group.
you, John.
Oh, my man, Brian.
Hey, Tom's trying to outshine me today, so I got to be on top of it now.
Tom's slowing down. It
Step
might be
up.
that Tom has slowed down a little bit today. It must be all that milk in a bag he's drank today. So.
I haven't had any milk today.
All right,
everyone's
Tom,
disposable.
this is you. This is all you right here, Tom. Are you ready for your segment, Tommy boy?
I have nothing prepared for my segment.
Oh, I thought you did. I thought you said you
No.
had some things tonight.
No.
All right, you want to throw one out there just for the fuck of it?
I got nothing, man. I'm in a
All
great
right.
mood.
Fuck yeah! All right, then. Perfect.
Going to
Again,
the range will do that.
yeah, do that. He will be in a bad mood next week. I promise you, guys. If anyone was
Maybe.
waiting for the "What's Cheese and Tom" segment and disappointed that Tom didn't have anything tonight, we apologize for Tom's not being prepared. But
Sorry, I was in a good mood.
just
Don't
kidding.
worry, Tom will find something in
Yeah,
the coming weeks.
Tom will find one.
No stone goes
Yeah, that's right. Well, he's got
overturned or whatever.
he lives in Wisconsin. He's got a lot of reason to be angry. But
Not really. It's a great
All right.
state. Come visit.
If
Spend
you
your money and
haven't,
get the hell back out.
yeah, if you haven't joined our Facebook group page, there it is right there. It is the Wednesday Night Live TV. Brian has put the links to it. Join it if you want to participate in this little puff counting thing. When would have to officially start? 24 hours before
Tuesday.
the show starts.
So
8
by
a.m.
showtime on Tuesday, which is
Yeah.
what time Central Time?
8.
What time on your side, John?
6 p.m.
And what time on your side, Tim?
It'd be 9 p.m. Eastern, Brian.
There we go.
Yeah.
8 o'clock is the one that matters, by the way. Just
So
saying.
It is.
if you want to join, screenshot, or now you can't screenshot your fucking device. Take a photo of your device with the
We
zeros
apologize
on
for
it.
John not understanding how devices work.
Screenshot that fucking device.
He's gonna sit
I
there.
can see like people like, okay, do I hit the power up button and the down button and yeah, there you go. Yeah, set your devices to 0, and a good way for yourselves to see what you're doing. It'll be a perfect way for you to see how many puffs you're doing in a 24-hour period, and we'll share all that information next week. It should be fun. All right, guys. Anything else, Tom?
Sometimes, Brian.
Brian, yeah. So it's
Yeah.
This
devices-
one does it. This one does it sometimes.
Oh, it
It-
does.
Yeah, you'll hear a
it's
little
just
bit of a
electronic
buzz.
interference.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's not-
yeah. Oh,
yeah,
when
you-
you put it close to the mic, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to blow up, Brian.
No,
You
it's
get-
not. That's not what he asked.
Uh,
He asked if it's normal to hear a buzz when you hit the fire button.
Yeah. This one does it. It's very slight, but it's not. You're not. You're
Yeah,
not in any danger.
sending out free. Don't hold your device next to your sack. It's bad. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Don't tase anybody with your vaporizer.
All right, guys, great show. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Nick, for joining us and helping us tonight. Better understand the process and help us to make it a little easier. Hopefully, everyone got those links. Find out who your congressmen are. Find out who your senators are. Find out who your city councilmen are. Email, and get your family and friends to help you. Have them email them. Like I said, we always say it. Your family knows you best. They've seen the process that you've gone through. They see the improvements that you have gone through from going from smoking to vaping. Have them help our cause. So get out there, keep emailing, don't get frustrated, and we'll keep our flavors. Right, guys?
Right.
That's it. All right, everybody, have a good night. Thank you again to everybody watching this show. Thanks to the rocker Tim. Thanks to the whatever he is from North Dakota. And fuck you, Tom. I forgot to end broadcast. Bye.